Okay, what we have here is a goal 0, and what you're reading on here is that we're putting in 11 watts and 9 watts out. And I've ran this configuration all night. Now you notice it doesn't have a time up there. So if you pull this back, we see there's an adapter and the plug. The plug here, which is going into it, that plug right here, it is 5 volts, 2 amps, which makes 11 watts. Now it's not exactly, it's supposed to make 10, but you know, you get that 1 point, what is it called? Amps is either 2.1 or the voltage is going up to 5.1. Either one, it sends it up to 11 watts. And the fan, let's see, that fan right there on low is consuming 9 watts. Sometimes it goes up to 10, but I'm able to hold this with it without a time variations for long periods of time. So this is making a cycle. So let's pull this plug out, and instantly we start getting a time. We start getting a time. And that fan is very greedy with those 9 watts. You see how that the hours are dropping down? 12 hours. It'll probably drop down to 9. Let's see how far it's going to drop down. We broke the cycle. And this whole routing, or what we talk about looping energy, see how that's holding there? It's just about down to 9, so it's holding there. There we go. And it's going to get slower and slower and slower, but it's still going to drop down because it's consuming energy off this battery. But now if we put energy back in this battery, see if we can get this started back up. Sometimes it does start and sometimes it doesn't. Let's see. I plugged it in and it didn't start back up. That's the little trouble that we have sometimes. Let me switch this cord. Okay. So, let's see. I just turn the cord around. Sometimes it works better when you flip it. And there we go. $20, 21. See that number going up? That means right now 58, 60 hours run time, time to empty, 72, 79. We almost hit 90, 91, 92. And boom. That sign right there means that 11 watts are going in and only 9 is going out, and you now have a loop. So this thing will run, or what it says is running 100 hours. Alexa, how many days is 100 hours?
100 hours is 4 days and 4 hours.
So, in order for this to be gone empty, you would have to run it 4 days. And I ran it all night. And it's only 11 watts going in. So let's see exactly how much energy is being put into that plug, because it is not 60 watts. Exactly how much energy is going into goal 0. So let's zoom that out into this goal 0. Okay, let's put that right here. And what we want to do is get a meter on the fan. So we're going to pull that out there. Okay. Now, coming out of this plug, we're looking at the plug, is exactly 4.69 volts, which is what they round off to 5 volts. It jumped up to 70, going down to 70, 69, 68, 69. Okay, so now we go down to amps, which is the green, and then we see that it's 2 amps and 67, 68, 69. And we have some milliamp over there in the blue, so it still has some change, and that's fluctuating. But look what it's giving, 12.6 watts. 12.6 watts. Okay, that's what's coming out of this meter. And let's go back to looking at what we're putting in here, the goal 0. 11 watts. So we know if we take this cord, which goes around up to this meter, and mimic that voltage with our solar, that's the numbers that we have to have coming out of the solar to make a loop. And let's look at this. That's 12 volts. Okay? That's 500 milliamps. 12 volts is being consumed. Okay? But that reads the 9. Let me see if I can get it back in focus. That reads the 9 watts. Now, let's turn this off here. Come on, focus for me. And then we see that it's 0. It's hard to focus this thing, I'll tell you that. But anyway, 99 says 1 hour to charge. Well, 0.1 hours to charge back up, because you have that 11 watts going in. Let's turn this back on. And see, we having a countdown again, because time to empty so we're going to make a fiber optic battery, solar fiber optic battery, that puts out the 2 amps and basically that 11 watts that we see going in here. So 5 volts, which should be nothing, and the amps, which will be a little bit harder, but all we need is 2. Basically, we'll say 3 amps. And all of a sudden, we'll be able to run something for 12 volts and 500 milliamps in a cycle, meaning almost indefinitely. I wanted to document that so people can see it. This is going to be our first test until we can get this up and running, and then we'll show you the complete version. All right.